Hi, this is Emma from Unique Phoenix, and welcome to Worthy Wednesday because you are worthy of your life as it is and as you are right now. You are worthy of love, not only from others, but from with yourself. I'm a transformation coach and I help people clear out all the mental chaos and, get to the soul living so that you can live a guilt-free life. Yeah, it's possible. It's totally possible. I know it's possible because I do it all the time. Every Wednesday, I share with you a little bit more of my story, and because I know you've got your own story and you're moving through it all the time. This is a way for me to share that I've traveled through a whole bunch of stuff in my life and I know how to move through the challenges of mental health, emotional health, relationship challenges, and also the mama guilt, the partner guilt, and how to get rid of that shit. Today, I want to talk about that exchange of energy and how you're affected and impacted, but most of all, talk about how you might be impacting other people. And perhaps not, perhaps you're getting responses that you don't really understand and you don't really like. And that can quite often come from just a place of you're not really getting that, like how you're, I call it landing, how you're impacting the other person. I call it, when I'm working with people, throwing up your feelings on other people. Yeah? And I'm going to put my hand up to say, I absolutely did this. I absolutely 100% used to throw up my feelings on everybody. Because it is important to share how you feel. However, you've also got to know when the right time is. And to do that, we in my beautiful home with my three gorgeous kids, I am a mum of three gorgeous kids, a teen, preteen, and a grade 3, 8-year-old. So, and they are intelligent, emotionally aware, amazing children. Challenge me every day and absolutely challenge me to be a better human all the time, which I love. But we talk about and use the term read the room. Because it's absolutely important to share how you're feeling. However, it might not be the right time to share your story, to share. It might be someone else's moment. It might be that the other person has something going on in their lives which your story and your feelings at that time aren't really okay for you to throw up all over them. And I absolutely do attest to saying to people, we've got to be brave and share how we're feeling all the time. But knowing when to is absolutely key, because you are responsible for everything that you say, do, feel, think. Now, as I said, I put my hand up before to say, I used to throw up all the time on people with my feelings. And I can remember one story where I was a new mum, my son, who's nearly 14, and everyone said, put him in the pram, they'll go to sleep. No, that didn't happen at all to me. I used to put him in the pram and it was like I'd given him a razor blade or something in there. I don't know what I'd done, but it was like chaos when he got in the pram. He didn't like it at all for a long time. And sleeping wasn't necessarily his thing in the pram either. Well, sleeping wasn't really his thing. Also, I want to say that was partly me, because that's the energy that I was impacting on him. And when you hear this story, you'll absolutely understand. Now, I'm also going to share with you at the end a way for you to become more aware and a way for you to move through those times when you can just say, ooh, I need to read the room, and a way to stop and do it. So I had organised with 2 new mums like myself, they had babies around the same age, to catch up. And I was going to one of their houses, and when I got there, the other mum had called her and said, I can't come, this is what's happening. And I basically had a tantrum, pretty much on a doorstep. I was high level of anxiety and very unaware of that at the time, but regardless, still my responsibility. And I'm very blessed that about a week later she called me on it and basically said, that wasn't okay for me. This is what's happening in my life. And I was like, whoa. And it made me stop and really look at how I was impacting other people, because I wasn't being responsible for that. And in fact, I was really coming from a very self-centered place, and not even that, just completely unaware. I did not read the room at all. My other friend who couldn't come, the way that I was speaking about her for not coming, that's not okay either. So I'm really grateful that my girlfriend called me on it, and I apologized. Even though I didn't know what was going on, I still knew that I needed to apologize, because it wasn't okay for me to do that. And even though I didn't know, and I didn't think I had control over it or anything, it's still my responsibility. I had an impact on someone, and it wasn't okay, regardless of whatever state that was. So it made me start to look at how I was sharing my feelings and who I was sharing them with, and most importantly, when. Yeah? And how I did that at the very beginning was one really simple thing: pause. I would pause and take a breath. Now, not just like a normal breath, an actual thinking breath, like you're thinking about what you're doing, you're focusing, giving all your focus to it, right? Because breath is life. Without breathing, we're not living. So we need to breathe to live. Yeah? So coming back to the breath is absolutely transformational in those moments. Whether it's high excitement, whether it's high, when you're in an anxious state, even a depressive mode. I used it when I did move through some depression as well. Breath. When you're in that state, and you're gonna, that moment where you're like, "Rah!" I want you to take a pause and breathe in for a count of 8 and breathe out for a count of 8. When you've done that 4 times, gives you 1 minute. And in 1 minute, you can absolutely make very different choices. Yeah? This technique has absolutely saved me. I've shared really openly my experience last year, the panic attacks, the mental health dip that I took, with mask wearing and what it brought up for me. Mine is trauma-based, so it absolutely rocked my little world. And this one technique absolutely saved me. I moved through quite a few panic attacks, and just that breathing alone allowed me the space to make the calls that I needed to make, to connect with the people that I knew could absolutely help me move through it, because I knew I couldn't move through it by myself. So, and I knew I've got some really amazing people, and I knew that I could call them and they could help me move through it. Taking a breath, absolutely, and pausing, giving yourself a minute, absolutely changes and helps you start to become aware of, what am I going to be throwing up all over people? And to stop. Because when I was in that panic state, there are some people I wouldn't call in my life. It's not fair for me to put them in that position, knowing the stuff that they've got going on. That 1 minute gave me the opportunity to call in the people that I knew that could hold that for me and could help me move through it. Yeah? So absolutely take a breath and take a pause. We don't have to respond immediately to everything, and that includes our feelings. I know, because feelings are moment to moment, like life. So when we pause, quite often, you might be having a feeling, and the more focus we give it, the bigger it gets. But if you take a time to pause, you can actually get a feel for, am I just moving through something really quickly, or do I actually need to give this a little bit more time? And do I need to share this? Absolutely, sharing your feelings is so important, but with who and how you're going to do it, and most importantly, when, absolutely, that is your responsibility. Yeah? Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful time with me. Enjoy finding the pause in your life. It will absolutely bring you to a new level of freedom. Now, if you're wanting to go deeper, as I mentioned, I'm a transformation coach, and the work that we do in 12 weeks is absolutely amazing. It will take you from where you're at right now, moving into that guilt-free, freedom-finding, soul-living life that you want. I've moved through it, my clients have moved through it, and I'd love for you to move through it as well. It's been beautiful to share this with you. Thank you. And please remember, be yourself. There is only one of you, and feel good for being it, because no one else can do that for you. Mwah. Enjoy your beautiful day, and I'll see you next week on Worthy Wednesday. Bye for now.